in the evening too. I get the blues in the morning. How about you? I get that lonely, lonely feeling they call the New London Blues. I get the lonely, lonely feeling they call the New London Blues.
Good evening and welcome to the Ladies of Lot. We are looking out for taxpayers, citizens for fair and responsible government. And we invite you to join us, call in, let us know what you're thinking, what your opinion is on what we're talking about. We have a beautiful floral arrangement this evening on the table that was sent by Father Time. And we want to thank whoever Father Time might be, also known as Old Man Lot. Never met this person that I know of, but the flowers are beautiful, and we thank you very much.
And they look really nice in front of your blouse.
They look really nice on the table. And
oh, if I could duck down a little more, then...
yeah, and then no one would be able to see you. So thanks for the table decoration. Karen and I are going to fight about who takes it home.
No.
With me tonight is Karen Paul, another Lot member, and I'm happy to have her with me.
Thank you, Diane.
Lot meets on the second and fourth Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m. at the Senior Center. Everybody's welcome. If you'd like to join Lot, the dues are $10 a year. And we welcome people's ideas. We welcome your presence. We welcome comments on our Facebook page and stopping us in Stop and Shop at any time. We like to talk about politics. Karen and I are going to become members of Meetings Anonymous because we like to go to meetings. We go to city council meetings. Occasionally we go to Board of Ed meetings. We go to city council committee meetings, and we like the council members and the committee members to know that citizens are concerned and interested and watching them. So it's a commitment on the part of a lot of Lot members to attend the meetings. Many Lot members speak before the council meeting and speak at the committee meetings. And I think it's a worthwhile thing to go to a council meeting and express your opinion about the issues that are facing New London. There are many good ideas out there. Many people have good ideas. And it's good to have them, but it's also good to share them because in some cases, action is taken on good ideas. So
I don't mean to interrupt you.
That's fine.
But, you know, I got a thing on a blog or whatever, on email, on Facebook, something. Anyway, it was given to me, and it's called Silence is Permission. Mm-hmm. And if you don't like what's happening, but you're silent about it, then you're giving the city council or the mayor or whoever else the right to just go ahead and do what they want to do because they don't know what you want to do because you're being silent. Mm-hmm. So going and speaking to council at least lets them know that you're thinking about, you know, other things and that you don't feel that they're doing everything for the taxpayers that they should be.
Yes. Well, another thing you can do is compliment them when they are
absolutely.
doing things.
And we do.
Doing things well, and we do. There was a standing ovation when the budget was passed, and I think it shocked the city council members.
Yeah.
But it was a fun evening. It was a nice thing. It was the right thing to do. I have to say, the last few meetings since the budget deliberations started, I've been really pleased with the behavior of the council members, with the tenor of the meetings, with the respect that the council members showed each other even when they disagreed. I was pleasantly surprised at the very good behavior of the council members, and I think they have passed a workable budget, and I'm very grateful for that. They did a lot of very hard work, and they did it in the open, not in secret. They debated issues that they were passionate about without being unruly or mean-spirited. So I give kudos and props to the city council members that passed this budget.
Oh, I totally agree.
Well done.
Yeah.
So a couple of things coming up for Lot. We are going to have our annual picnic on September 19th from 3 to 6 p.m. The tickets are $10. We want people to start planning ahead to save that date. The rain date is the next day, the 20th, but September 19th, we're hoping Saturday, September 19th from 3 to 6 will be our picnic. We always look forward to having all our old friends and new people come. We generally will have some table favors to give away or to sell chances on. We have food. We have really, really good company, spirited discussions. It's a very interesting, very fun day. And it's just nice to hang with people and not be in a situation where you're in a meeting. So if you wanted to come and meet some of the lot members coming to the picnic, you can buy tickets from us or tickets at the door, but coming to the picnic is a good way to get acquainted with us. During Sale Fest, some of us will be at 133 Bank Street giving out brochures, so if you wanted to find out more about Lot through our written material, you'll have a chance to come down to Sale Fest and stop at the old Jason's Furniture Store, and we'll be hanging about, and we'll have brochures. And again, we're always willing to talk to people about whatever's on their mind. We're hosting a candidate forum. This is an election year for city politicians. So October 14th, we're hosting a forum for whatever candidates for Board of Ed and City Council choose to attend. We'll host the mayoral candidates also if they choose to attend. And it will be an open question format. So if you have a question, you'll be able to ask all of the candidates, some of the candidates, or only one of the candidates, what your question is, and listen to their answer. We don't have a debate, but we want people to be able to meet the candidates in person, ask them questions that are on their minds, questions that may not be pre-screened or deemed appropriate, but kind of whatever, in a civilized fashion, whatever is bothering you, or whatever ideas you might want to share with the people who are running for office, and see what they have to say. So
or their views on whatever subject you're interested in.
Yeah, it would be nice if people wanted to call in tonight. We're happy to answer your questions and talk to you, listen to your opinions. So that's it as far as our upcoming events and plans. You would have loved our meeting on Wednesday night because it was very kind of free-flowing. We had a lot of sharing, a lot of good ideas. And so I'm just going to talk a little bit about the ideas that were brought up at our last meeting. One of our members thought that we should bring to the council ideas about increasing revenues to the city, and not tax revenues, but revenues from other sources. My opinion is that because tax revenue is the largest source of revenue for the city, that it would be my wish that the city would get rid of some of the excess property that it owns and sell that property to people who would pay taxes on it, and that would help increase revenue. I don't know, Karen, do you have any ideas on increasing revenue?
Yes and no. But I agree with you on selling some of this property around. But then you run into the situation, people don't want to buy property in New London because the taxes are so high. And I think maybe the way we have to approach it is that if people buy the property so that more property is being taxed, then the taxes won't be so high. Mm-hmm. But they don't seem to get that kind of a concept. But I don't know that. I mean, there's so much we could do. I think the parking meters maybe will work.
Yeah, that has been talked about, putting parking meters. They were going to do a pilot project, but I don't see anything happening with that. So if anybody knows about the parking meter pilot project,
Yeah, Larry, where are you?
call in, because we'd like to know whether that's going to go forward, whether there are plans in the works, because the councilors did go to a couple of cities and look at parking meters and how they work. And they're very upscale, I guess, parking meters that I guess they can take debit cards and they understand how long you've been there. And so you're kind of not, if parking meters were installed, you wouldn't be trapped in that 2-hour window where if you take an extra 10 minutes at lunch with your friend, you come back and your car has a ticket on it for $25, which I think is very unfriendly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's an interesting idea, and I'm pretty much in favor of doing a test, like a pilot project, just a test to see on this block for this many weeks. This is how much money came in. This is what people said, because people have no problem telling the city administration and the city workers what they think.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I guess if the parking meter didn't cost like $25 for 2 hours, then maybe it's $1 an hour or $2 an hour, and $2 for the first hour and $1 for the next 5 hours.
I want to say, not too long ago, the seniors went to Providence Mall, and we had the parking meters, and those parking meters, I think they take credit cards or coins. And I want to say it was $1.25 for an hour, or an hour and 15 minutes or something like that. It wasn't unreasonable.
Right, that doesn't sound terribly unfriendly.
You know.
It certainly sounds better than $25 and a ticket.
Right, absolutely.
Because a ticket goes on your record.
Right.
It's not points, but, it's there.
Yeah.
So, yes, that just...
Well, and these were set up so they weren't the old-fashioned kind where you put a couple of coins in and turn the dial, and then you've got the 2 hours and it clicks down. This, you could sit there and you could feed it. You could put 3 hours worth of coins in, or 4 hours. If you thought you're going to a movie, and this has happened before with me. You're going to a movie, the movie is 2 hours and 10 minutes long. And you're at a 2-hour parking meter.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
So what do you do?
So this kind of a meter that they had in Providence, you could put 2.5 hours worth of coins in. It didn't even have to be full hours. You could do it.
Right. So and how long you're going to be gone.
Yeah, And you could always put that extra quarter in just to give yourself...
That's what I do.
15-minute leeway or something. But I think that's one of the least complicated ways to bring revenue into the city. You know what I mean?
And it's probably, at first it's minimal, but I also think that it could solve some problems where we have people going to work and parking on the street all day for free. And, one way that they avoid the ticket is every 2 hours go and move their car. And certainly that detracts from productivity. So, and use the garage. I think the garage is $6 for the whole day. I don't think that's going to break anybody to pay $30 for a week.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess there have been times in my life when $30 for the week would have broken me. Let's see, park or eat?
Yeah, been there.
Walk to work.
Yeah.
But I think that, I'd love to see a traffic study done. I don't think that the timing on some of the stoplights at some of our intersections has been changed in 30 years. And now we have a lot of people coming into New London to work at EB, and I welcome them. I'm glad they're here. I hope they stop once in a while for a drink or a meal. I hope they consider moving to New London, because there are a lot of very nice houses, and New London is an awesome town. City.
City.
Little city.
Yeah.
But because of all this traffic, there are a couple of hours in the morning and a couple of hours in the evening when traffic just does not move. It's just miserable, and it's miserable for the people who are working at EB, and it's miserable for the people who are trying to go downtown or trying to go home. It would be a good idea to figure out how can we make the traffic go more smoothly into and out of town especially during these high traffic hours. So I'd really like to see, I think that the police department and the public works department need to work together to do a traffic study and then to change the timing on the lights. But I really would like to see that done. That would be very helpful.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, there's some of the intersections are just atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, and for people like you who walk,
mm-hmm.
it makes it very difficult too, right?
Yeah. But I see it all the time with people. I mean, cars backed up from one intersection through the next intersection back, and it's because of the way the lights are timed.
Yeah.
And then you throw in people not paying attention to the don't walk signs.
Yeah. Well, there are pedestrians who don't pay attention to the don't walk signs, and there are drivers who don't pay attention to the walk signs. So, and New London is a walkable city. You can get around on foot. You can go to a lot of places on foot because it's a very small city. So it would be nice to re-look at where the crosswalks are.
Absolutely.
Whether they work for the people who need to use them, whether we should have more or fewer of them. And I think that could all be wrapped up into a traffic study.
I agree.
So another topic that came up at our meeting on Wednesday was doing more with the same amount. So the spirit of the comment was that if you continue to do things the way they've always been done, it's probably inefficient, and everybody in management, and including the mayor and the CAO, the chief administrative officer, should look at the way that things are done. You can take it one department at a time and look at how the department is managed, how staffing is parceled out. Look at what you can do with the same amount of resources, to use them better. And you can save, but if you save $1, you have $1. If you cut expenses, you only have that portion of money that you cut.
We have a call.
We have a call.
Watch, I almost said welcome to Seniors on the Go. Welcome to Ladies of Lot. You're on the air.
Yes, how about that?
Hi.
How are you?
There's the parking meter authority.
Yeah. No, you were saying, you don't like to get stuck with the last few minutes or a shortage on your parking when you go to a movie.
Right.
Just think, according to how much money they're willing to spend for the meters, you can sit in your movie theater or at your restaurant while you're having dessert and call up your parking meter and add more time. Because the new meters will be money and credit cards, and you can even just use your phone, and I have special apps on your phone to charge the meter. Now, the new revamped Tilly parking lot, if and when that ever gets done, so far they have $500,000 ready for it.
Right.
Right now, the thought is there would only be 3 of these meters in that entire lot.
Ooh.
So you'd get out of your car, and you go to one of the meters, hopefully is in the direction you want to go, and you sign in with your license plate number.
Okay.
And then you run your credit card through for how much time you want. So these meters aren't like the old ones where you put the quarter in and turn the handle by hand.
Mm-hmm.
These will be all electronic. And then when the meter maid comes by, they have handheld machines that will check your license plate number, and they will know exactly what time you were there and how much time you have left. So it's going to be a completely different ballgame than what we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the meters right now that they're looking at are, depending on what electronics you want in it, be from $8,000 to $11,000 each. So they're not cheap, but
No,
all of
that's
the
a lot.
companies promise the town is going to make a lot of money. But I don't, I don't know about you, but well, me myself, I'm dead set against parking meters. We had them in town before many years ago, and they finally realized that they were losing too much business. But it seems like the businesses are interested in having the meters this time, so well, we'll just see what happens. But whenever they have any kind of public meetings on this, the people should come in and voice their opinions and see what they want, if they're in favor of them or not. But that's all I can think of to say about it this time. And as far as the traffic studies, I guess every once in a while there's always one of those things going on. They just finished a study on how many more parking spaces will be needed in the future, because they're talking about EV parking and the museum.
Right.
That, I don't know. We really don't know. We'll be paying for that study again. And if you remember, a few years ago, we paid an outfit in Kansas $780,000 to tell us we had a parking traffic problem here in town. And you know where that study went?
Onto
They
the
just
shelf.
threw it in the corner and never looked at it, never followed any of the options there whatsoever. So you can see what we have to look forward to. Okay.
All right.
I hope maybe this time somebody will do something. I mean, I find it encouraging that they're at least going to try 3 meters, and I understand they're very expensive. The payback on them is going to be a long time. But we also have so many issues with parking right now that I guess you could do nothing or you could try something.
Well, what you can always do is, like some people do, you go to the mayor and he'll give you a free parking pass wherever you want.
I don't think the mayor's going to give me a parking pass.
If you're at one end of town and you park and the time is not used up and you want to park someplace else, you could just move to any other spot in town, because it's all registered electronically. So no matter where your car is in town, the meter maid will see your license plate number in the machine, even though you paid on the other end of town.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they have all kinds of gimmicks like that for these expensive machines. So, but
I have a
if
question.
you're in Silly Lot, you have to park wherever you can, I guess,
Right.
and then figure out which direction you want to walk to get to the meter, and maybe you have to walk back in the opposite direction to go where you want to go. That's that's one thing to think about.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for me for tonight.
Oh, Karen had a question.
I had a question, Larry.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So now with the parking meters, do they we have a call online too. Thank you for waiting, caller. We'll be right with you. Hold on. will we have to pay for parking all night or till midnight, or when? Are people going to be able to swipe their card and go 24 hours, or what?
As far as I know, that's going to be another study on how to set these meters up. And anytime or even temporarily, they can be changed. You know, say like for a sale fest, electronically, the meters in any section of town, they could double the price.
Oh.
And for other reasons, other places, they could cut the price in half. You know, they could do all of this, you know, like from the central office that'll be in charge of it.
Oh.
Well, it sounds interesting. I mean, it's certainly not your grandmother's parking meter.
No. Yeah. So that's all I know about it so far.
Well, thank
Okay.
you. Thanks for the input. I appreciate it. Have a good evening.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Larry. Thank you for waiting, caller. You're on the air with the ladies of Lot.
I was just being nosy. What happened to the woman that's got the bandages on her face?
She got into a fight.
Tell them the truth. No, I had a cancer tumor removed. So I'm fine, but thank you for asking.
Yeah.
No, she hit me.
Okay, I thought maybe the mayor hit her. That's
No, he just thinks about it. He doesn't
Yeah.
actually do it.
okay.
Because she'd hit him back.
You're darn right.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling. That was very nice to ask.
Yeah. Okay, just being nosy, that's all. I thought maybe she was something serious, you know.
Yeah, just a little
Okay.
cancer. Bye now. Thank you. That was sweet. So parking meters.
That I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe it's just because I think that they're really cool technology. I think the price per unit is outrageous.
Yeah. And,
So-
and then how many units would that accommodate?
Oh boy, I don't know.
You know, would each parking meter accommodate 50 or 25 or, you know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's an amazing thought. There's so many logistics involved with this
Right.
kind of thing. You know, it's not just we're going to set up a pole in front of a parking space anymore. It's a completely different thought process where you're paying to park wherever you park, and the meter's down the road. It's not right at your space.
And then, you know, in some places, the merchants themselves can, you know, stamp your parking ticket or
Right.
so are they going to be able to have like cards or something that you can present or you can swipe in the meter that will deduct, you know,
Oh yeah, so it's like validating your parking.
validating at least your parking for the time that you may be in their store or their restaurant, you know?
Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
So-
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, I haven't either out of it when Larry was speaking, but,
Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
you know. I mean, you come to my restaurant and I'll, you know, give you,
I'll help you pay for your parking.
yeah, you know.
Yeah. Because that means, if there are parking meters and you're parked on the street, then the restaurant owner does not have to maintain a parking lot. So
Right.
that could work out.
Yeah.
But I was really, really impressed with the Downtown New London Association.
The Central City or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Center City.
City Center District,
City
that's
Center.
right. The City Center District merchants were faithful in coming to the budget meetings and addressing the council and addressing the committees about what a difficult thing it would be for taxes to go up further than they're going. And some of the business people in town are very impressive. They all seem to have good hearts. They all seem to like working and owning businesses in New London. It was really good to see the business community come out to all the meetings and speak to the council and express their opinions.
Yeah, we call.
We have another call?
Welcome to Ladies of Lot. You're on the air.
Hey, this is Father Time.
Ah, hello, Father Time.
And we thank you.
Two things.
They're beautiful.
Aside
Thank
from
you.
Parking meters. There is a high probability that a movie is going to be made about the Pink House and so forth.
Right.
And what happened to Kilo and Company. And oddly enough, it looks as though somebody is really going to do this, but they're going to make the movie actually out in the Northwest Coast somewhere.
I thought it was Canada.
Yeah, I think so.
Vancouver or something.
The other thing is
That's
that
funny.
The Renaissance City Development Corporation finally is showing signs of getting something done.
Really?
Yeah.
I had not heard.
It's leaving town, right?
No.
Oh.
Linda Mariani is probably going to succeed in doing something that no one else has been able to do. But anyway, just passing that along.
Well,
Okay.
don't keep
You
us in the
ladies have a
dark.
Good evening.
We need more information.
We need more information. What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know, but there are indications that good things may happen finally, and New London could use some good things. But anyway,
We're sitting right here.
that's a good thing.
Yes, it's a good thing
Okay,
that we're
I'm
not
gonna
late.
hang up now.
All
Thanks a
right,
lot.
thank you.
Thank you
Thanks for the
again.
call. Thanks for the flowers. That was very nice. So if something happened with development in New London, that would be very exciting. I would be
Yeah.
very happy about it. I would be happy to see a developer come into the Fort Trumbull area and build something that will bring in taxes. I don't even care what it is now.
Yeah.
It just something nice. I wouldn't want to see necessarily something industrial, but I guess I'll take whatever.
It's too pretty an area to be industrial.
Well, it is pretty.
You know.
Yeah, and one thing I always felt was that it was normal people who lived there, but they had a
Yeah.
water view, and I kind of felt like the city fathers were saying, "Oh, normal people can't have a water view."
Yeah.
And the odd thing is that yes, it's got a water view, but it's right next to the sewage treatment plant,
Yeah.
which now is state of the art, and really not much of a problem. But when the Fort Trumbull homeowners lived in the area, that sewage treatment plant was
That's what I
appalling.
understand.
It was horrifying. The
Yeah.
smell, the noise, the smell. was
That's what I understand.
awful. And the homeowners in that area lobbied the city council for decades to do something to fix it, and nothing happened. But there they were. They enjoyed their homes. They enjoyed their peace.
And
it
their
was all
view.
and the view. And it was all taken away from them. So I would really like to see economic development happen. I would really like to see development happen. I would like to see taxes coming in. We've lost millions of dollars in property taxes by raising those houses. And because those property owners were paying taxes every year. And then when their houses were taken, they became non-taxable because they were owned by the development corporation. So it was the cart before the horse as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
That they should have had firm commitments from developers with money on the table And then they should have gone and said, this is the plan, this is how much we're going to give you for your house. And just compensation is another one of those laws where, what is just? Is it just to move a person who's lived in the home, who was born in the home? There are things that aren't monetary that are also compensable. So the whole situation was awful. It's a scar on New London, and it would be less of a scar, in my opinion, if something was built. I know there are former Fort Trumbull homeowners who feel nothing should ever be built there, but I hope something is, and I hope that it improves the tax base of New London and grows the grand list, and that we do something there.
Well, I've had several thoughts and ideas about what should happen there. One of them being that the city, but I understand the state has more to do with owning the property or something than the city.
Well, I have to say I'm not an expert on that.
Yeah, I mean, I've just heard conflicting things.
The
If
Renaissance Development Association,
Yeah.
RCDA, I don't know what the C stands for.
Yeah.
They have title to the property, but the state was deeply involved in 98, 99, 2000 in moving the project forward. And
Yeah. Well, not knowing any of, or a lot, or very much of the inner workings of it, just off the top of my head one day I said, you know, I really feel like what the city should do is offer the families that they moved out of there, all those families that were lost their property and their homes, and I don't care what they paid them for it. And I don't care if the person that lived there is no longer living, the family, the descendants should be offered that property, give it to them for $1. They give property to the businesses for $1, give it back to them for $1, let them build back on their property and get the taxes.
well, that's an interesting idea. I don't know how many of them would bite,
Well, you know,
but you're right.
if
We do sell things for
they
$1.
don't want their plot of land, then the city can sell it to somebody else. But they've talked numerous times about building, you know, condos and apartment buildings and all kinds of things down there. Which was, I mean, why would you take people's homes away and then build more homes?
And why would you, in a city with a high vacancy rate, build apartments?
Yeah, well,
But
then
I
we'll
mean,
get
I
into
don't know
parcel J too.
I'm not a developer.
Yeah.
Perhaps there's something
Yeah.
to be said for, I mean, Tammy Doherty told me that there's a market for upscale rentals in New London. And I think that if we're building upscale rentals, we might want to think about a plot of land that's not next to a sewage treatment plant.
Right.
Because it's state-of-the-art technology, but it's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a largely industrial area.
Or a plot of land that's not on the corner that's a disaster,
Yeah,
like parcel J,
yeah.
you know.
Parcel J, the infamous Parcel J. If anybody doesn't know what that is, it's the big plot of land that's at Howard and Bank Streets that's been vacant for 40-some years.
Yeah.
And it was part of the redevelopment in the 1960s where people's homes were taken and knocked down, and development happened in that area, but Parcel J remains vacant to this day. And they've tried to market it, and they're apparently actively marketing it again, but they they have a developer who has prime developer status. The status was just renewed for another 6 months, I think. And it's what I used to say to my kids, yeah, I'm gonna this, I'm gonna that, I'm gonna. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know why we feel like we have to just continue, well, this developer has prime development status, but their plan fell through, but we're going to give them another 6 months. Maybe there's another developer out there that has a plan that won't fall through. So I'm not sure why we just keep working with the same developer, but I guess it must be hard to find people who want to dump money into New London. Or
Could it have something to do with the taxes?
oh gosh, it might have something to do with the
Wow.
taxes.
Wow, I'm glad you thought of that.
Or it might have, yeah. New London in particular, Connecticut in general. Yeah, it's very expensive to live here. I like it here. I'm not moving, but
Yeah.
it is expensive to live here. No question.
So,
So let's see, so we were talking about doing more with the same amount of money.
mhm.
And that was an idea that came up at our meeting, that the mayor should have all this time been working with department heads and working with the departments and working with their budgets and figuring out how to streamline processes. I mean, we pay for studies about every which way. We could pay for a study about, oh wait, we did. We paid for an audit.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, we paid for an audit to figure out how things could be improved in the departments. And as soon as the audit was finished, it was not widely disseminated. I've never seen it. You ever seen it?
No, I was there. Well, you were there when he talked about
Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't.
But
I
I've never
didn't
seen
get
it.
it.
It was
Yeah.
a process audit or something like that, where
Yeah.
you look at where there's waste.
That was due December 31st, and we got it.
2013.
Yeah, and we got it. City Council got it last month.
Oh, that's the financial audit.
Oh,
I'm talking
okay.
about the
Oh, you're talking about the other one.
the other
yeah.
audit. I can't remember what it was called. It was about but it was auditing processes. It was auditing wasteful processes, wasteful management styles, wasteful purchasing, and it was due in 2013. And it kind of, I've been told it was finished, but nobody's seen. I haven't seen it.
Do you
I
remember?
don't see it on the website.
Do you remember a council meeting? It was a while back. Could have been as much as 2 years ago, or maybe more. A gentleman came, and he went through this whole process. He had done all these studies and everything, and he was telling the council how they could consolidate, like buying paper. Instead of the school board buying paper and the city buying paper and the senior center buying paper and the public works buying paper for a printer, one purchasing agent buys the paper and disseminates it to everybody,
Or you just have a contract. We're going to pay $1.86 a ream. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter who orders it or when they order it or how
Yeah.
much they order at any one time.
Yeah.
Our contract with you is that we're going to pay $1.86 a ream.
Yeah.
And that's
And
problem
he had
solved.
all the figures and everything, and I just used paper just because,
Right.
whatever.
But what was the first thing that Mayor Finizio did when he got into office? He fired the purchasing agent,
Yeah.
who is now the purchasing agent in Norwich. So there's nothing wrong with that purchasing agent or
Doing
his
fine.
skill set. He's being very successful in his new job. So I think the mayor may not have wanted good advice about saving money. I think it's my closely held personal opinion that the mayor came into town saying we have to raise taxes, and I'm going to raise taxes, and hell or high water, I'm going to raise taxes, and so I'm not listening to any advice on how we can save money. We're just going to raise taxes.
Well, he didn't know that the city was in such dire financial straits when he ran for mayor. He was told
That everything was good.
that everything was good. That's what he said.
Yeah.
If I was running for mayor someplace, I would sure find out.
Yeah, I would want to know.
You know, I would want to know.
And it's public information. It's not like
Yeah.
it's a complicated process.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's a shame that the mayor came in. I mean, I don't object to the idea of making people reapply for their jobs.
No.
Because if you've been there 20 years, 30 years, you know, you may have been a good fit for the job. Your skill set may have been right for the job when you got the job, but maybe it's not now.
Yeah.
And things can be done, but to just go and wholesale
I wouldn't
kick
have
people out.
any objection to him coming in and talking about the city doing studies all the time, coming in and revamping the job descriptions. You know,
And that's supposed
so
to be an
that they're
ongoing process.
so that they're workable and so that they're current and they're up to date and
And so they reflect what the people in the
what they
jobs actually are
need to
doing.
be and what they need to be doing.
Right.
And then take the old crew and let them apply for the job and vet them and see that they can do it. And they should have first choice. But
All right. So as a person who's on the Senior Affairs Commission and a person who goes to the Senior Center on a daily basis,
yes,
do you think that if the community center gets built, do you think that the community center would have room to accommodate senior programs to become the senior center, along with all the other things it's supposed to do, so that the city could divest itself of that very old, very costly building, the Martin Center and the Senior Center that's on Broad Street?
well, I don't mean to diverse, but just a side note.
Sure.
We have heard that they're going to start renting out some of the rooms at the Martin Center to make a little revenue. Oh, surprise.
Well, that's a very good idea.
Yeah,
But-
I know. I mean, it would be wonderful to have a new community center. In the news in the last couple of days, I'm sure people have heard about Ridgefield and the Recreation Center, Community Center in Ridgefield, and I lived in Ridgefield when that opened, and let me tell you, it's a palace. And the Senior Center is a separate building that shares a parking lot and has total access to that recreation center. And all of the playing fields that are behind it and the pool that is in it and the therapy pool and the library and everything. And it's a beautiful facility. But Ridgefield is not New London. Or New London is not
that's true.
Ridgefield, you know.
But there still are plans afoot.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't realize how much goes on at the senior center.
Right. And
You know.
until I started going there in the day, I had no idea.
Yeah.
But it's constantly in use
Yeah.
and it's not just one room that's in use.
Yeah.
The whole place is buzzing. There are people there from the time it opens till 2:00, doing programs, doing activities, doing classes, having meetings.
Well, and then there's the stuff in the evening,
Right.
you know, so
And yeah, the senior center is used a lot by groups for meetings.
we're going off.
So, oh my goodness.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching. Come to our meeting.
Second and fourth Friday,
See you next
Fridays,
Friday.
Wednesdays.